Hello and welcome to Talking Golf with Gary. This week, the dynamic Gary will introduce you to all kinds of topics pertinent to this past week of golf. He'll give you some tidbits of information as what's coming up and take you on a tour around the world for all of the golfing highlights. Sit back and enjoy Talking Golf with Gary.
And hello and welcome to another edition of Talking Golf with Gary. Hope everyone had a terrific week out there. Still a little chilly here in the Northeast. Weather warming up just a tad. Reset the clock, so we're going to get a little bit more daylight, so maybe that'll help. Now, a little bit of a different format again. We're just trying some things out to see what works. No guest this week. Supposed to have a guest. They bailed on me. So it's just me. So we're going to go back to the old recap. But before we do that, I wanted to just ask a question out there to everybody that's listening. The big question this year, a bunch of rule changes in golf. And one of the most talked about rule change so far has been whether to leave the flag in or out. And I know there are a lot of guys on YouTube that have done studies on this and have been doing this question this week, and that's what really gave me the idea. But I'd like to get your opinion on it. What do you think? Do you leave the flag in or out? Now, personally, I think I'm in the majority with what I've been seeing a lot of people talk about. I like the flag in, especially for long putts, because it gives me a target. It's easier to see. I can see out of the peripheral vision. I can see the flag, and it gives me something to aim for. I always had a problem if you got a long putt, and remember some of the guys, your buddy would be holding the flag loosely on an angle so you could see where the hole was. This does away with that, and it does can help act as a backstop if you hit the putt too hard. Now, for short putts, I really prefer it being out for the same reason. I know it seems like a contradiction, but it seems like a better target if you're in short to see the whole hole than just the flag. And for a short putt, to me, it almost looks like an obstruction. Just my opinion. Just throwing it out there. But what's your opinion on that? Please send me an email on it. We'll talk about it some more. Or, send a voicemail, 516-362-0443. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. Also, hit the bell that you liked the video. And, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you get the podcast from. But let's take a look at all the action that went on in this week's golf. Let's get the right music there. All right, the PGA Tour, Francesco Molinari, who won the Open last year, the British Open, rolled in a 44-foot birdie putt on the final hole of Bay Hill. It capped off an 8 under 64, taking him from 5 shots behind to his 2-shot victory in the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. Molinari watched the putt kiss off the flagstick and into the cup. There you go, the flagstick was in. And the normally reserved Italian raised his fist and dropped it downward, knowing that it would make him hard to beat. He had actually went out and played a couple hours before the contenders, because he was what was it? He was 5 shots behind, but just had a magnificent round of golf. Just tremendous, 64. No one got closer than 1-2 shots the rest of the way. Matt Fitzpatrick managed only 2 birdies in his round of 71 to finish second. Defending champion Rory McIlroy started the final round one shot behind and never got anything going in his round of 72. And there were a lot of guys that had chances, but nobody could get anything. Tommy Fleetwood had fell apart the day before. He made a run, but only got to 4 shots behind Molinari. Mentioned McIlroy, Matt Wallace couldn't get anything started to creep up. Just Molinari took control of that tournament and took it home. And congratulations to him. And he's really one of the hottest players on tour. And he did it with a new contract in his back pocket with Callaway, so new clubs. Though I think he's been playing them this season. They made it official this week. So congratulations to Francisco Molinari. Kirk Triplett is not a Hall of Famer, but he rode a Hall of Fame swing to a playoff victory over Woody Austin in the Hogue Classic on Sunday on the PGA Tour Champions. Playing the par 5 18th hole at Newport Beach Country Club for the third time, Triplett finally hit the 3-wood second shot he intended, then holed an 18-foot eagle putt for his 7th PGA Tour Champions victory. The left-to-right putt was similar to the one he holed on the 18th hole in regulation to get into a playoff with Austin. Each of the players parred the 18th on the first playoff hole. Playing it again on the second extra hole, Triplett drove it on the fairway, while Austin flared his tee shot right and missed the green well right with his second. Triplett then hit a 3-wood from 252 yards that just carried a bunker to the left of the green and rolled out to 18 feet of the hole. Austin squandered 2 opportunities to win by failing to get up and down or birdie from the fringe at 18 in regulation. Then he hit a poor bunker shot at 18 on the first playoff hole, leaving him a long birdie putt that he missed. Triplett is off to a torrid start to his 2019 campaign, only a week before he tied for second in the Cologuard Classic and finished in the top 20 in 2 of his other 3 starts. He finished with a 3-under par 68, as did Austin. Fran Quinn, who took a 3-stroke lead into the final round, made only a single birdie on Sunday, posted a 3-over par 74, and tied for 5th, 2 shots back. Jeff Maggott and Scott McCarron finished a stroke out of the playoff. McCarron 3-putted the 18th from 30 feet for par and a 68. Maggott shot 65 but couldn't overcome a 4-putt triple bogey on 18 in the first round on Friday. And McCarron's he really had an opportunity there to either get into the playoffs or to win this thing outright, and just 3-putted and just wow, that was just heartbreaking. So he did not qualify for that. But Kirk Triplett off to a great start in the Seniors Tour this year. In the European Tour, Justin Harding birdied 3 of his last 4 holes to claim a first European Tour win at the Commercial Bank Qatar Masters. I don't know if it's Qatar. I heard one guy say Qatar. I'm going to say Qatar. South African arrived at Doha Golf Club without full playing privileges after finishing 3rd on last season's Asian Tour, but now has his breakthrough in his 54th European Tour start. Harding made 3 early birdies to share the lead, but his chance looked to have gone as he made 2 bogeys, and South Korea's Jin Ho Choi signed for a brilliant 64 that set the clubhouse target at 11 under. Birdies on the 10th and 12th put him back in contention, and further gains on the 15th, 17th, and 18th handed him a 2-shot lead at 13 under after 66. He faced a nervous wait as the final groups finished, but nobody can catch him. With countrymen Christian Bezon den Hout, George Coetzee, and Eric van Rooyen, Spaniards Jorge Campillo and Nacho Elvira, Swede Anton Carlson, Frenchman Mike Lorenzo Vera, England's Oliver Wilson, and Choi in a European Tour record 9-way tie for second. The victory is a 5th in 9 months in 4 different countries worldwide for the 33-year-old after he claimed back-to-back Sunshine Tour wins in May and repeated defeat on the Asian Tour in July. He becomes the fifth South African winner of this event after Darren Fitchett, Ernie Els, Retief Goosen, who was interviewed on the show, and Brandon Grace, who successfully defended the Mother of Pearl Trophy in 2016. So those are all the winners for this week. Francesco Molinari on a PGA Tour wins the Arnold Palmer. Kirk Triplett takes home the crown in the Hogue Classic. And the European Tour, the Commercial Bank Qatar Masters, is won by Justin Harding. So that's it for the recap for this week. We're going to take a quick break and be back with some other news and notes, and then, wrap this baby up. So let's take a quick break and be back after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
Sponsor an ad on the podcast. Support our show and let people know about your business. Email us today.
516-362-0443. That is the Talking Golf hotline. If you've got a question, a comment, or want to leave a voicemail, say hi. That's the number to call, 516-362-0443. Or if you'd like to leave an email, you can email the show at talkinggolf@gmail.com. And we seem to be having a technical difficulty here. Now it's time to do the calendar. Now, boom, 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 do, 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 do. All right, we got some technical malfunction here this week, so no calendar song. We'll see if we can get that back, but let's take a look at the calendar on upcoming schedule on the PGA Tour. Next week is the first big tournament of the year. Some people call it the fifth major. I think it should be a major. It is the Players' Championship, and Webb Simpson will defend his title in that. The Champions Tour is off next week, as is the LPGA Tour. They normally take a couple of weeks off and get started at the end of March. I think they'll be playing the following week. But they're taking a week off. And the European Tour is playing the Magical Kenya Open presented by APSA. And this is a new event to the European Tour. It is an event that has taken place for a number of years on other tours. It has now been welcomed into the European Tour. So it's the first time it will be taking place as a European Tour event in conjunction with other tours. But Magical Kenya Open, so we don't have a winner. But, well, we do probably, but it wasn't a European Tour player. So, anyways, that's the calendar for next week. Coming up, Players Championship, of course, which opens up the whole 5 months of important tournaments. March, the Players. April, of course, the Masters. May, the PGA Championship this year. June, the U.S. Open. July, the British Open. How could I forget? Or the Open, as they call it. And August, of course, the FedEx Cup and all that takes place with that. So, and don't forget, there's a different criteria for this year. There's only 3 tournaments going into the FedEx Cup this year. So, Let's see if we can get this thing to work here. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Okay. Well, that's kind of an aborted effort there, but that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you get. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. No guest this week. Apologize for that, but these things happen. I want to thank you all for listening, and don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, wherever you listen to or watch the podcast. Hit the subscribe button. That helps me grow the show and expand to new listeners. And until next time, remember, it's very important. As you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. Have a great week, everybody. We'll be back, hopefully with a guest, next week on another edition of Talking Golf with Gary. Bye-bye.